welcome to I've Run Out of Things to Say podcast. I'm your host, Vincent, here with my lovely co-host, Cody.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Well, we fell off the wagon.
We fell off the wagon. No, we didn't. We're not. We didn't fall off the wagon like for years. Like we didn't do that, but
we took a little hiatus.
We took a vacation, summer vacation.
Yes, summer vacation.
2 or 3 weeks. So just bear with us.
Mm-hmm.
Holidays, hot AF. My job's in a warehouse. It's miserable and
Cody completely forgot a week.
Yeah, I just I think I did, because I just was so ravaged from all the heat that it went out the window.
Anyway, so we've been covering Loki, and we've been doing episodic, but with taking the break and being off, we had time to watch 4 of them, I think it was?
No, 3, 4, and 5.
So, Cody, you want to start us off?
Sure. So, the third installment of the episodes. I can't.
Alright, hold on. Let me pull up title list.
The muck and the mire.
No one wants to hear your excuses, Cody. Nobody. No. So while I'm looking that up, how have you been, Cody?
Hot. Very, 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 very hot. It's sweltering. And losing weight. So, there's an upside to it. Rolling off.
Speaking of rolling off, let's talk about Romanoff.
Oh,
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah. Also, fun fact, the guy I mentioned last episode, my colleague that worked on Loki also just announced he worked on Black Widow. So he's doing it. He's the visual. He must be climbing the ropes over there.
All right. So, we've done Glorious Purpose.
The variant.
Lamentis is next.
Yeah, the place. Duh.
Yep.
The planet.
So,
the Lamentis. They got Loki and Sylvie. They go to. They started off by setting it up, like, with the two of them, getting off the transportation monorail, whatever they were on.
Well, it starts off that they get to the planet from Loki sending him there.
Oh yeah, and then they got sent to the Lamentis.
Yeah. And Loki didn't realize that he had picked the one place where nobody survived.
Yeah, nobody.
And so he had to deal with that. And during that time, they meet an old lady in a house.
Yeah.
And Loki disguises himself as her husband and tries to talk to her, and she shoots him off.
She shoots him, yeah.
But before that, Sylvie tries to kick the door open, and she gets shoots off.
Oh, yeah.
So then Loki and Sylvie get on the train.
Yeah, they're on the monorail.
Yeah. And then Loki does his Loki thing.
Yeah.
He gets drunk, does something stupid.
Yeah.
Gets him thrown off the train.
Yeah. With the remote.
Yeah.
And then they realize, the remote's broke. So then, I think it was funny. It was Sylvie, like, is beyond livid, and she just like walks away, and she just screams and like explodes everywhere, like in green. Like he's like, "Do you feel better?
Do you feel better?"
And then they have like this little getting close moment, and they like
it causes a nexus,
yeah,
which summons the Time Lords, or not Time
the
Lords,
Timekeepers.
the Timekeepers.
Timekeepers. I kept remembering that. I was like, oh, keepers.
The Timekeepers.
Which we'll get into that later.
Yeah. So they get picked up by the TSA.
Pretty much. That's like what I was saying. They go to Lamentis, they fight some stuff, they have a moment, and then they go to... Is the Ark on Lamentis?
Yeah. And at the very last minute, the Ark gets hit with a planet.
And then they're screwed. They're SOL.
Yeah.
Because they fight all the way through all that crap, and then they get to the Ark, and it's just like...
And then, like I said, it's TVA. I said TSA. They feel like the TSA.
The TSA is like... Isn't that like...
For airline security.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought it was something to do with like... customer service. TSA.
No.
I was like, wait, what? I was like, are you having a moment?
No, TVA comes and apprehends them. And that leads us into the next episode, the Nexus Event.
The Nexus Event. That one was super good.
Yeah.
Hell
so...
Yeah. So they go... That episode cuts to... Loki and Sylvie still... Now I'm mixing them together.
No.
Is the Nexus one where they get swept up again?
Where they get caught again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then they go, they have the necklaces.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, Sylvie is taken to her own place, and Loki, our Loki,
yeah,
because it's gonna start getting a little difficult.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what they do.
So Mobius debriefs Loki and tells him that Sylvie has been pruned.
Yeah, to try to get him
to like tell them their grand plan.
Mm-hmm.
And Loki's like, I don't have a grand plan.
He's like, screw her. He's like, I don't like her anyway.
No, that's when he starts caring about her.
Mm-hmm.
And
he says that though.
Yeah.
He's like, screw her, whatever.
I'm my own Loki.
Yeah.
I was using her as a pawn.
Yeah.
But it gets to a point where Mobius is going through this, and then Loki's not answering him, so he puts him in a time loop.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
In the time loop, he's in a bad memory where...
And he's like, oh, the time loop. This will be great. He's like doubting it.
He's like, oh, it's so scary. What could be this? And turns out... I can't think of the woman's name.
Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. It starts with like an X. Zippy or Zyla or...
One of those.
Something. It was something weird like that.
Yeah. But anyway, It's a loop where she comes up because he cut her hair.
Yeah.
And she's pissed.
Yeah. He's like, I
And
did it in a moment of mischief and I thought it was funny.
So she slaps him and then she knees him in the crotch.
What does she say? How dare you? And then she says, you pathetic. She said it like 10 fucking times. I was like, Jesus, you're pathetic. And then she said, you'll be alone forever. And then something else. And then she just knees him in the nuts. Like, knees him in the nuts and punches him in the face. Like, over and over.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So, well, Loki's in that little loop. Mobius goes and... Oh!
Yeah,
we forgot.
You forgot, like, the little... Didn't he throw the curveball right before you went?
Yeah.
Loop?
So, Loki and Sylvie got to talk. And they were talking about one of the TVA agents that she had caught and held captive.
Lost her mind. And
she didn't lose her mind.
Oh, yeah, that's what she says.
Yeah.
But he gets... Yeah, we'll get to that later. He gets a little remote.
Yeah. So... Sylvie tells him that all the people that work for the TVA are variants.
Which is like super crazy. Like, then that curveball, then you're like, what?
Yeah, because then Loki tells Mobius this, and Mobius is like, no, this couldn't be. But he's got that plays. Yeah, but he's got this doubt in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Which plans...
He's like, I don't remember anything. That's what he starts thinking.
Yeah. And he goes and he talks to his superior.
Mm-hmm.
And
which also starts to doubt, right? Was it not C80, but K18 or something?
You're thinking about the fighter.
Oh, okay.
She was one of the guards.
The other guard, like the big, like the bigger female guard.
Yeah. Yeah, because Sylvie opens her mind up
and shows her her memories from before she was a variant.
Yep.
Which is it legit?
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah, it has to be because they play.
She can't change. Memories. She can't change memories. All she can do is go in and like pop suggestions in.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like she even says that I can't change memories, so you know it's legit.
Yeah. So that happens, and we're sitting there, and Mobius lets Loki out because he gets a temporal pad from his superior officer.
He finally breaks, though. Like, Loki finally breaks.
Yeah.
He's finally like, okay, I will be alone. And he's like, finally breaks. Like, what's her name stops her cycle once he finally breaks.
Yeah.
And then that's when Mobius comes in and he's like, alright, you want to talk now?
And he goes to talk to him, and Mobius has already looked into things, and now it was C-18 that was originally caught.
Yeah.
And when she was caught, Sylvie messed with her memories. Mm-hmm. Like, she went into them and opened them. That way she could find out about the timekeepers. Mm-hmm. You find out that caused a madness.
Yeah, quote, madness.
Yeah.
Which wasn't madness. It was her realizing the real truth.
Yeah.
And they just don't want anybody to know.
Yeah, so they prune her.
Mm-hmm. Did they prune her?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, because it said deceased. Yeah.
Yep.
So why isn't she... Okay. Why don't you see her then?
I assume it's one of those things where she might have got caught up right at there. But we'll get to that in a second.
Because you don't even see her. Not even in 5.
Yeah. So, long story short, Loki and Sylvie, with the help of Mobius, escape.
Mm-hmm.
And Mobius gets pruned.
Yeah, that was 4, or was that 5?
That was 4.
Yeah, that was 4. That was like the moment he got pruned. I was like, no. I was like, no, Owen Wilson.
It was like he's finally understanding.
Yeah,
it was like pruned. They did that twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to the other one, but they did that twice in this episode.
Yeah.
Where the guy was
like,
just standing.
I just want to go get a family and get a Ferrari. Wow. And then he gets pruned. I'm like, no, dude.
Well, yeah, because she asked him if he could live in any time, what time would it be? And he was like, I'd live in the time before the TVA, back when I had my own life and my own things, and maybe a jet ski.
Or, yeah, that's what he said. I just thought it was something like that.
Yeah. And she prunes him, and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, he just gets iced, like, in the middle of the episode. I was like, no way.
You find out that this higher up official, she is dark, man. She doesn't care who you are.
No.
She will prune you for the sacred timekeepers.
Yeah, which I don't know. Yeah, we get into that.
Yeah. So we're at the end of the Nexus event.
Yeah, we're at the end.
They're getting help, and they get to the elevator, and they get to the timekeepers.
Isn't that right? Is that right off the rip in 5? Or is that at the end of 4?
That's at the end of 4.
That whole scene, though, where...
Yeah.
Was that the end of 4?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's where we're at.
Alright.
So, getting closer now.
Yeah. Because it's huge. You find out, like, I don't know. You go ahead.
So, Sylvie and Loki fight off all the TVA agents.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where they've gotten everybody. They've got Miss Badass all held up, and they're in front of the timekeepers.
The timekeeper, Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yeah. So she throws her sword at one of the timekeepers, and it cuts off his head.
And you're like, whoa.
And you're like, oh crap, she actually killed one.
Yeah.
Big reveal. He was an animatronic all the time.
He was a Chuck E. Cheese. He was just smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. So, that happened.
Yeah, he was an animatronic. So then you start thinking, like, what? You're like, so who is, like, doing this? Like, who wants all this shit?
Yeah. And Loki's like, Sylvie, all we have to do is cause a Nexus and we can get out of this.
Yeah.
And he's holding her and he's telling her this. And then all of a sudden you see a light come out from his stomach.
Gets purged.
And then he gets pruned.
What?
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then we get to episode 5.
Yeah.
And at the end of episode 4, if you watch like the
secret.
very end, the scene, you see Loki, and he's laying on a field.
Yeah.
And he looks up, and you see an old Loki, a kid Loki, an alligator Loki,
a baby alligator,
and then
a Thor. I don't know.
Is he like Thor?
He has like the Nordic like vest on.
Yeah.
And he's got like chains, and he kind of looks like.
Holds a hammer too.
Yeah, he does hold a hammer, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like a Thor Loki variant.
Yeah, he's a variant that I don't know.
It's like weird.
It's probably in something, but
he's like half Loki, half Thor, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or his costume is, at least. I don't know.
So that was the end of the Nexus event. Now into Journey into Mystery.
Yeah, Journey into Mystery. I just crammed all, like, the third one I watched 2 weeks ago, and then I crammed the other two right now, and I didn't even look. My bad. I didn't even look at the titles. I was just like, watch these.
You're slipping. You're slipping.
No, I want to.
It's a slippery slope, and you're slipping.
You're slipping. What is that from? I want to say it's from a Kevin Smith movie. Slippery slope. That is Jason. That is Jason Lee who says that. It's a slippery slope, and you're gonna blah blah blah. Right? What one is that? Is that Mallrats? It is Mallrats, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, anyway.
I don't know. It was random. That just triggered my memory. I was like, what? But yeah, we get to the timekeepers, find out they're fake. Then he wakes up, and he's got all the Lokis around him. Gets up, and he's like, what the hell are we doing here? And they're like, hey, Loki. Hi, Loki. Hi, Loki. Hi, Loki. And then they explain to him, like, you're at the end of time. Or right before the end of time. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because in between them is them and the end of time is... How do you say it? Not Leviathan, but... The monster.
I don't know. I watched this on Wednesday.
Oh, but you can't remember either.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Slippery slope, and you're gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
So, anyway, the lion. Oh, Goliath. It was.
It sounds like Goliath, but it's like Elevia or something.
Yeah.
It's something really weird.
But it's a giant cloud lion thing.
Yeah, it's a giant cloud lion.
It's Mufasa. Simba.
Or what was the diamond in the rough?
That's from Aladdin.
Yeah, but it's got the big tiger head. Like,
yeah, but it looked like a lion head.
Oh.
Because the mane and everything. Because all the clouds. So it's Mufasa telling Simba something. Simba must cleanse the land.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So.
Yeah, they get to, basically, they set that up. And then they see the cloud monster guy. And,
first time they run away from it.
Yeah.
Run away!
Bunker!
So, he gets in the bunker with these four. And our Loki is like, we need to do something. We have to have a plan. And they're all like, no, it doesn't work that way here.
No.
You just hide.
And survive.
Exactly.
Keep running every day.
Yeah, you just survive. And so they argue for a little bit. And Loki's like, I'm done with this. And he goes to the hatch and he opens it. And then he sees President Loki.
Yeah.
And 5 to 10 other variants of Loki.
Yeah.
Which I don't know all of them, so...
No, there was like random, weird, crazy shits.
I think I saw a samurai one, but I wasn't sure.
He had the horns, and he had like a suit on.
Yeah,
he was in like his truest form, I think, in that scene.
That was President Loki. It's from
okay.
the comic.
Yeah.
But so they start fighting amongst themselves because someone wants to be the king.
Yeah.
And all Lokis want to be king.
Yeah.
So they start fighting each other. And our Loki, old Loki, kid Loki, and alligator Loki, they all
start having a beat down.
Yeah. And the alligator eats off President Loki's hand.
Starts
And
screaming.
he's like, ah! So, there's that. But they escape. Old Loki, Kid Loki, and Alligator Loki with our Loki. They escape. And they're going around. And during this time, Sylvie has been pressing for information.
Yeah.
And our boss lady, she's... God, I wish I remember her name.
I can't remember her name either.
It's a number 2.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Maybe that's the one I was thinking of. Her number.
Maybe. But she's stalling for time and talking about a space shuttle that can go through for a time, and the little clock computer is like searching and searching and searching for the file.
Yeah.
And Sylvie's like, Sylvie's like, oh, okay, they're buying time for something.
Well, at first, there's a whole, that scene's not that short. Like, they actually try to make it look like they coaxed her into siding with Sylvie for about 10-15 minutes there.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, oh, yeah, I don't know anymore. What is real? And she, like, starts, like, finessing her. Like, I was like, whoa. Like, she really sounded like she was about to fight for, you know.
Turns out she's a Loki.
Yeah, no, but, like, it sounded like she wanted the same thing as to find out. Well, she does. She wants to find out who is behind it all as well, but she wants it for her own personal gain.
Yeah. She still wants to protect who's behind it.
Yeah.
And,
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because after Sylvie gets away and prunes herself, that's right, Sylvie prunes herself.
She's like, screw it. When she goes through, does she keep the remote?
Yes.
Okay, that's why she did that.
And,
that brings up a good question, though. If everyone's a variant, is that lead officer a variant?
Probably.
Like, why would she not be a variant?
Oh, I think she is a variant.
Yeah.
So.
Like, that's really weird if you think about it. Like, why is she trying to gun for everybody to not do it?
Yeah, she's pruning pretty much everybody left and right.
Everyone, okay, everybody that gets taken into the TVA, are they all variants of Loki, or just variants?
They're just variants, and there's
a
lot of variants of Loki.
Okay.
So
they're just variants in general, and not variants of Loki.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So Sylvie prunes herself, and she goes to this timeless place where Loki is. And the monster starts chasing after her, the big cloud monster. A Goliath or something like that.
Yeah.
But he starts chasing her, and he's this huge freaking cloud, and you see a pizza car coming up, and it swings, and it opens the door, and it's Mobius inside.
Yeah. He finds... he runs into Sylvie in a separate scene.
Yeah.
And something happens. Something happens in that scene when they run into each other.
When she gets in the car and she leaves the door open, he's like, "Close the door."
Yeah. No, but didn't they explain something in that scene or no?
No.
No. Okay.
Not that I can remember, at least.
No. Me neither.
But
anyway, yeah, he shows up in the pizza car with Sylvie.
He picks her up.
Yeah.
That's the scene where he picks her up and everything. And they're trying to find Loki, and both Loki and Sylvie come up with the idea to go to the Goliath head on. And
try to enchant him.
Loki thinks she's going to kill it.
Yeah.
And Sylvie thinks she's going to enchant it.
Mm-hmm.
And old Loki and kid Loki and alligator Loki are there.
Yeah.
And
old Loki does some cool moves.
Mm-hmm. But Sylvia shows up in the pizza car, and Loki runs up to her, and it's all like, "Oh, you're here," and stuff, and she's like, "I've got a temporal pad," and they're like, "Oh, you can get out of here."
Yeah.
And Loki's like, "I'm gonna stay," and Sylvie's like, "Okay," and Mobius is like, "I'm gonna go burn the TVA down."
Go burn it to the ground.
Yeah. And then you get to the point where we're at the big fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
So
huge. Very good job, by the way, sir. You know who you are. You did that whole scene with the cloud coming down and all the lightning. It was sick.
We should get him on one of these days.
I know. Soon. How much would he be able to talk about though? Well, it's all released, right?
It all depends on what they have on them.
Yeah, because they're not all fully released, but they're released. Yeah.
So, but big fight scene.
Mm.
Loki and Kid Loki gives Loki his sword. And then they say that they're not going to fight it, but they're going to survive, so they're going to go on. And you see them walk off. You see Mobius go through the portal, and it's just Sylvia and Loki. And they go down, and they're like talking about getting a tendril. If you can get a tendril, we can enchant it. Because she almost enchanted it before. Mm-hmm. And they start going towards it, and Loki decides to be the distraction, and he lights his sword on fire, and he's like, "Hey, over here, hey, over here." And it starts heading towards him, and then Sylvie starts doing the enchanting on it, and it's not working all the way.
Because she needs more power.
Yep. And she gets its attention and starts going towards her, and Loki's running, going, "Hey, no, over here," and stuff. And the thing's just like focused on her.
Yeah.
And so he runs over to her, and then all of a sudden, you see green, glimmering,
just green, like building.
Yeah, buildings start building
like,
up,
materializing, and like, I think that Loki was using like illusion.
Yeah.
Like, it was all, because the Leviathan, or the monster, was, like, wrapping itself around, like, all the buildings, and when it would, like, penetrate it, it would, like,
disappear.
Turn holographic, and, like,
yeah.
It was weird.
but he's, old man Loki is like,
Yeah, just like
doing this like ridiculous illusion. Like it's huge.
it's like a huge metro.
It's a city.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, he's gonna die.
Yeah, that was his consensus. Is like, oh, he's gonna die, but you have that little bit of hope.
Yeah.
That Loki and Sylvie stop it beforehand. And
that's not the case.
Nope.
Gets ate up.
You should. Now, what this Goliath does is
Yeah. What technically? What does it do?
it basically speeds up time.
Oh, okay.
So it basically causes rapid aging until they turn to dust.
Oh, okay.
That's why his helmet was rusty.
Yeah. Oh, it was rusty. Yeah, I was like, why? What is that?
So.
But yeah.
But then we get back to Loki and Sylvie, and Sylvie's like, "You can do it too."
And then he's like,
"No,
I
you
don't know
can."
how.
And he's like trying, and then she's trying, and it's like turning back towards him, and it's like getting closer, and then boom, they enchant him.
Yeah, it was sick. And then like the smoke clears, and that's the biggest reveal. Is like the monster cloud like clears. There's like a clearing, and then there's like this building that it was protecting.
Yep.
It was all summoning like from this building, and it's like a little green light in it, and it looks kind of purple, just like the monster did.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what is that shit?
And then it ends.
Yeah. What do you think is in that building?
Another Loki.
Is it another Loki, or is it a whole nother character villain?
I don't know who it's gonna be.
Because this timekeeper crap, like, they're fake. They're Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. They're not real. So whatever's doing this timekeeping thing is putting up all these distractions and all these different curveballs to...
Well, not to mention, they've wiped every variant's mind that works for the TVA. So they've got to have some power.
Mm-hmm. It's super weird. Who has that power in Marvel?
I'm not sure.
That's the first thing I would do is figure out, like, who does memory wipes and who does time things. Who does time things? Because I don't think it's even a Loki. I think it's somebody they're building up. That'll probably be the last episode. You'll probably find out.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the end of the episode. I think they're going to be done, like, by episode 7.
7? You think
That's
so?
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because those two right there were huge.
Yeah.
Like, huge, climaxy, huge.
Yeah, like, we're getting to, like, the end road.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'd be funny if it was Thor.
Yeah, that's that. They did throw that costume on.
What if it's Tony Stark?
Why would it be Tony? Does he do time stuff?
What if he had the Infinity Gauntlet?
Would that be? Why would that? Iron Man.
I'm just throwing shit out there.
No,
dude.
but Iron Man's too like good for doing something like that. Good natured. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Next time.
Next week.
Watch, there won't be one next week. And we'll be like, what the fuck? Oh, man. Alright, guys. Well, I think I've run out of things to say.
Alright, yeah, I've run out of things to say too.
Alright, have a good night.
Yep, catch you next week.